Hi everyone, I hope you're really well. Welcome, or indeed welcome back to the channel. If you are new, don't forget to hit subscribe because today it's another Chatty Get Ready with me. So I thought I would do another Get Ready with me because these seem to have gone down quite well, and I also feel like I have a ton of stuff about various different things that I just wanted to chat with you guys about. So I thought, why not, let's put some makeup on and chat about these things. I've just recently come back from a bike ride. I'm trying to go out as much as I can, trying to increase my fitness, and I think I'm actually doing a lot better. I do about a 4.5 mile circuit of the village where I live, and it's got to the point now where I don't actually need to stop at all, which I'm very happy about because it's not all flat. There are some pretty mean hills in there as well, ones that aren't really steep but they just seem to go on for a really long time. But I really enjoy cycling, particularly the route that I do, because there are bits that are a lot of work to do, but there are also bits where you can just kind of cruise and just enjoy the scenery, and it's something that I really enjoy doing as well, and I think that is the key when it comes to exercise. Just clip my hair back a little bit. I'm currently doing a bit of a hair experiment at the moment, which I am doing a video on, but I'm not 100% sure when it is I'll be putting the video up. The chances are it will probably be up before this one, so if it is up then I will pop a card up and a link down in the description. But yeah, I'm doing a month-long experiment using one particular brand. I'm a week in so far, and so far so good. My hair seems to be liking it, but I will reserve any more commentary for the actual video. If you are new to my Get Ready With Me videos, the style that I generally take is just kind of random ramblings really whilst I put stuff on my face. So I may be talking about the makeup, I may be talking about other random stuff, but if you're wondering what's on my face, I will list everything down below in the description box. Today I thought I would try a combination of one of my favourite foundations, which is my L'Oreal Infallible Matte. This is nearly run out as well, plus the Ordinary Colours Serum foundation, because this is very liquidy and forgiving on any dry areas, whereas this can be a little bit drying. So I thought I'd do a bit of an experiment today. Colour wise they're almost identical. I'd say the Ordinary one is slightly lighter actually. Do you want to be zoomed in a little bit? Should we move you in just a little bit? Not too close, just a little bit. Is that better? Hopefully it is. You can probably tell by the state of my eyes that my hay fever is continuing to be horrible. They were so bloodshot when I came back from my bike ride because I totally forgot to take an antihistamine this morning. I don't actually know how I managed to forget because it is hay fever season after all. And I got out of the shower and I did rub my eyes a little bit, I suppose, whilst I was in there, but oh my goodness, there was no white at all, it was just pure red. I put some eye drops in and wandered around the house for a bit in the hopes that when it came to sitting down and filming this, I didn't look like some kind of monster. I think I've mentioned this a few times, but I'm hoping to film a Q&A video at some point, largely because I've grown in subscribers very quickly, and I thought it might be a nice way for you guys to get to know me a little bit better, if of course you want to get to know me a little bit better. So if you've got any questions that you would like me to answer in a Q&A video, just leave me a comment and I will do my best to answer it for you if I can. This is actually going on really nice, and at least they're two pretty affordable foundations as well. I do quite like foundation cocktailing, but I do wonder when the day will come that someone will just make a foundation that's perfect and the search will be over. I can't imagine that day ever coming, but you never know. It's a nice combo, but I think I used a little bit too much of the Infallible Matte because it has gone a little bit dry down here. I think that's the thing about testing foundations. There are so many variables in play. I think a lot of people assume that primer can make a big difference, but actually I find that sometimes getting the right moisturiser can really make or break a foundation. So if you always stick to the same moisturiser, it may be worth having a bit of experiment around with other things as well. That's why I tend to get a lot of moisturiser samples, just so that I've got a few different types of things to play around with. I would love to get my skin to the point though where I need less makeup because there's less to cover, so I am working really hard on a good skincare regime, where hopefully at some point in the future I'll look in the mirror and there won't be so much stuff to cover up. That's the hope anyway. Okay, I think that's the base on, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of powder on my nose because my nose seems to look a little bit shiny. Something else I want to do at some point as well is I'd love to do a live stream. I've not done a live stream before, and the main reason why I haven't done one yet is because all I've got is the standard sort of built-in webcam on my computer, and the quality isn't very good. It's a computer, so it's kind of stuck where it is. It just didn't look very good when I had to play around with it. I watched someone live stream the other day, and it was Holly on the channel Holifae. Hi Holly, if you're watching. And the quality was actually really impressive, so it made me think, right, let's do this. Let's do a live stream on my phone, because hopefully that will work. The only kind of complication I suppose I've got now is ever since I did the Ordinary Colours foundation reviews, and my whole demographic has changed. It used to be a really high percentage of people from the UK, whereas now it's kind of split between the UK, the US and Canada. So I've got things like time zones to consider, which I still can't quite get my head around. It's amazing that people want to watch me from around the world. It's very surreal, but I have no idea when would be best to do it, because there's only generally a small time frame that I can really do a live stream without being climbed all over by a small child, and that will be no fun for you guys, trust me, and probably not much fun for me either. So if you're up for me doing a live stream, just so that we can have a bit more of a chat really, I suppose, about whatever, then let me know in the comments what time you think that would be good, because generally for me it's only really weekday mornings. But that's obviously in my time zone, so I don't know whether that would work for anywhere else, because it would probably be the middle of the night. I will probably upload it to YouTube afterwards, so you will be able to watch it after the fact, but I'd really like to just be able to talk to as many people as possible. So it's a bit of a conundrum. Let me know what your thoughts are, but I would like to do one at some point, particularly as the mobile phone quality did look to be quite good. Something else I've been thinking about a lot at the moment as well is the giveaway that I mentioned in, I think it was in my last Get Ready with me with all the Tarte stuff, and I had that Tarte makeup bag, which is now sat in the wardrobe in all of that same Tarte packaging, just waiting for me to hit 2,000 subscribers. I was thinking of doing a giveaway at 1,000, but then because of the whole Ordinary situation that blew up, I kind of surpassed 1,000 really quickly. Things have definitely slowed down quite a lot now. I'm back to how it used to be before I uploaded those videos, where I'll gain a few, I'll lose a few, I gain a few, I lose a few. So I'm still hovering around the 1,900 mark. So hopefully it won't take too long to get to 2,000, because I think that would be good timing for the giveaway. But I've been kind of thinking about the giveaway and what to literally give away other than the Tarte makeup bag, because it's a tricky one. I don't want to pick stuff that's obviously going to be skin type specific, skin tone specific, which does rule out rather a lot of things. So if anyone's got any suggestions of what you think would make a good giveaway prize, then let me know, because I have been thinking about it a lot and I'm not sure. I was thinking about going down the brush route maybe, and I am a big fan of Zoeva brushes, so that's something I was thinking of. But other than that, I'm really not sure. So let me know if you've got any suggestions that aren't too specific to skin type or skin tone or anything like that. Speaking of Zoeva, as you may well know, my brow brush ran out, and I'm back to using my Benefit Precisely My Brows pencil, and I just don't like it as much in comparison. And how much is one of these to buy normally? Okay, so I just looked it up, and this is actually £20, whereas the Zoeva one is £7.50. You could get almost 3 of the Zoeva ones to one of these. I don't know if there's much of a difference in terms of how much product you're getting, but I would still choose the Zoeva one over this, because it's just a really nice formula where it is slightly waxy, so it doesn't really feel like it's going anywhere. Whereas the Benefit one's okay, It does blend very easily, which means it also kind of comes off very easily too. It's just something that I just really like about the Zoeva one. I would really like to try the Hourglass Arch brow pencil. That has been on my product wish list. Yes, I have a product wish list. It has many expensive things on it, but it's been on there for a really long time, and from what research I've done recently, because I am in the market for a new brow pencil, it's supposed to last a really long time, so although it's quite expensive, it does last a long time. But do I really want to spend about £30 on a brow pencil? I don't know. It could be amazing. I would love more Hourglass products in my life, but they are quite expensive. I really wanted the palette that they did, was it last year, the year before? The ambient lighting palette, I think it's called, in sort of a bronzy metallic palette. So beautiful. I think you got like a highlight in there, blush, bronzer, that kind of thing. But I just really, really want to try it. But you can't get that one anymore, and I don't like the packaging of the new one, unfortunately. I'd also really like to try the Hourglass Stick Foundation, because I've heard that's supposed to be really good for oily skin, and I'd really like to try a stick foundation. But again, it's just, it all comes down to money, unfortunately, and I would love to have an unending supply of money, but unfortunately I don't. I always find it really difficult to do my brows in a small mirror like this. I don't know why, I need to be able to see them from a distance, and I'm not sure if I've done the best job there. On more of a slightly random subject, I know in... see... It's easy enough to wipe away though. I do love this Zoeva brow fix, but just when it does that, and it does it so easily because the spoolie end is a little bit big really for the brow area. It could do with being a bit smaller. Yeah, so on a completely random note, we have now finished Game of Thrones. We finished it a little while ago. I did mention this in a previous Get Ready With Me, I think. We absolutely stormed through it. It was amazing. It's like if someone made me a TV show that was just for my entertainment and my husband's, because we have very similar taste, that would have been it. It's like Lord of the Rings, but with more swearing and boobs. But I just find the storylines really interesting. It is quite gruesome, but it's more the storyline that gets you. And when we caught up with everyone else, I said to my husband, right, I feel like I need to watch it from the beginning again, because the next series, season 7, is out next month. It actually coincides with mine and my husband's birthday. They're a day apart. Mine is the day after his, so I kind of feel like my birthday every year is a bit of a non-event, particularly last year because it was a bit of a milestone birthday for my husband, and there was so much excitement around that. It got to my birthday and it was all just a little bit flat, unfortunately. But hey ho, you can't really choose these things, can you? So the next season of Game of Thrones is out just before our birthdays, and we're really excited. I think Peter Dinklage's character, Tyrion, I always get his name confused with his dad's name, but he's Tywin, isn't he? I literally, when I first started, actually no I'm lying, I literally through all 6 seasons pretty much had to have a family tree so that I could keep track of who on earth was who, because it all got a bit confusing. So Lisa, if you're watching this video, thank you for sending that to me, because I did use it. The only thing I'd like to Google now, I think, is a map version, so one where you can actually see where everyone is, because when we re-watched it, I think it was in season 1, and I'm really sorry if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, I will wrap this up in a second, but it's so good. When they were saying about how long it had taken Cersei and Robert Baratheon, the original king, when it took them to travel from King's Landing to Winterfell, and it had taken them like a month or something, me and my husband just looked at each other and went, a month? I didn't think it would take that long. So it just goes to show kind of how big the realms are supposed to be and how much space there is. But I know that they're based on books, and I'd really like to look into it a bit more and read them. But to be honest, as much as I love reading, and I am an avid reader, I just don't seem to find the time to read anymore. And I think that generally boils down to being a mum now, because before I used to read a book before I would go to sleep, whereas now our evening time is so precious because we just don't seem to really see that much of each other. We'll sit down and watch an episode of like Game of Thrones or something on Netflix or whatever, and yes, Orange is the New Black, not even started it yet because we're trying to get through watching Game of Thrones all over again, but then the next season will start, but hey, we'll be able to binge that at some point. So it just doesn't feel like there's much time left for reading, which is really sad because I love it. I do still read a lot. My little boy loves being read to, thank goodness. So I'm looking forward to when he's a bit older and we can maybe get into some other books that I'll also get a lot of enjoyment out of too, like the Harry Potter series and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I was talking about Tyrion, wasn't I? Peter Dinklage's character. He is absolutely amazing. He's easily my favourite character. I also like Brienne as well. I think she is amazing. If anything happened to either of those characters, I would be gutted. And I'm assuming the books have already been written and their fate has already been sealed. Although I know that there have been a few changes in between the books and the TV series. But yeah, if something happened to either of those, I would be so sad. But I'm so excited to see Cersei, hopefully, finally get what's coming to her. Obviously it's really sad that all of her children have died in various different ways. That's awful. She's just turned into such a badass now. When season 6 finished and she had all of that kind of leathery spiky gear on, I thought, yeah, here we go. We probably haven't even had a taste of how badass she can be. So in some respects I'm quite excited. It's a bit like when Joffrey was really, really awful and we were kind of waiting for the demise of him, and I kind of felt, and I'm not a cruel person by nature, but I felt like his death could have been a lot worse. And I did read online, I think it was IMDb, that in the book his death was far worse. I wanted to see that death. It sounded horrendous, but he was so horrible, you just wanted something really horrible to happen, because poisoning I just felt was too good for him, really. Anyway, enough about Game of Thrones, because I'm kind of assuming that a lot of people watching this might have watched it, and obviously you might not have. If you haven't, and you can stomach a bit of gore and a bit of swearing and a little bit of sort of adult nature stuff, then I do recommend it, because as much as it has that stuff in it, and there have been a lot of programmes that have done similar things to that, where it's kind of like adult telly fantasy world stuff, which me and my husband did watch a few of, but most of them are absolute rubbish. This is actually really good because it's the story that gets you and you really just feel everything as you're going along. So if you haven't watched it, I would definitely recommend it. So as I said, it's my birthday next month. So last year I did a haul with Sephora, and I'm really hoping to do another one this year, because the birthday present that they're giving out this year, as far as I'm aware, for the whole year, it is from Tarte. It's a little blush and a lip product, I think. If that's not reason enough to do a birthday order with Sephora, I don't know what is. I do have my eye on quite a few treats that I would like to get, but I do like to try and make any birthday money that I get go as far as possible. And unfortunately, in the kind of makeup world, that doesn't usually happen in terms of money going very far. It's very easy to spend a lot of money fast. I thought I would use this blush in the middle of the Becca Blush with Light palette, which is called Songbird. I don't use it very often because I'm just not very drawn to it, but I thought I would do a bit of a sort of bronzy look today because it is pretty much summer now, isn't it? Hopefully that's showing up for you guys. It did make me laugh. I can't remember who wrote the comment, but in my Get Ready With Me where I said about putting blush on heavy-handed and then blending back, and they were like, you can't even see it. I know, it's the camera, it does wash a lot out. In real life, I mean, I'm wearing enough for it to be noticeable, but more natural noticeable, not kind of Instagram noticeable. Got my L'Oreal Miss Baby roll here, which I'm still enjoying using, as it does just seem to give me the look that I want pretty quickly. Something else that I have been doing a bit of thinking on as well is the content that I put out, because obviously I have my own agenda in terms of the stuff that I want to produce that I enjoy making, but at the same time I want you guys to actually enjoy watching it as well and want to be able to watch it. So if you've got any suggestions of types of videos that you'd like to see from me that maybe I've not done yet, or things that I have done and you'd just like to see me do them more often. I was thinking, for example, about my foundation test videos, and I probably do maybe one foundation a month, and I was wondering about maybe stepping up to 2 foundations, because I do really enjoy the process, even though the editing of those videos can take quite a while. But if I do what I'm planning on doing, which is doing my first impressions and then maybe a week or so later doing my kind of, I've been wearing this solidly for a week with different things underneath it, these are my final thoughts kind of thing. Obviously I only do 2 videos a week at the moment, so I'd have to check to see if it didn't dominate the month too much, because I do try and vary content as much as possible. Not just from your guys' point of view, but also my own as well, because obviously it's me that's filming this stuff and I don't like things to get too repetitive. I would love to do more videos, but I honestly don't know how people manage it. I think I can just about cope with doing 2 at the moment, because it is quite a long process to film, edit, upload, all of that stuff in and around being a mum, being a homemaker, all that kind of stuff too. It is quite time consuming, and as yet I'm not actually getting paid to do it either. Not that that would make that much of a difference really, unless I was making enough for it to maybe be an actual job, which of course would be amazing, because then I wouldn't actually need to look for a job and I'd just be able to fit doing this in and around looking after my son. Because something else I've been thinking about a bit as well is when it comes to me getting a job too, because I do miss work, I do miss earning my own money. I don't know whether you know, I'm sure I've mentioned this in videos elsewhere, but where we are at the moment, this is just temporary. We of course want our own place, particularly as my little boy is getting bigger. I want to be able to put down roots in our own home. So in order for us to do that, I do really need to start earning some money. So I've been thinking about what hours I can do and all that kind of stuff. And it's quite the conundrum, to be honest. I think when you've had a child, it's so complicated, and looking to cover school holidays and that kind of stuff, I genuinely don't know how people manage it. I'm assuming that a lot of people get a lot of support from their family, but unfortunately we're just not really in that position at the moment. So I've got a lot of stuff going through in my brain at the moment that I'm trying to figure out, because I do really want to find our forever home and that kind of be it, that be our final move, which is exciting, but at the same time it is quite it's quite scary as well, because we are getting older every year too. I think the last thing is just lips, and I'm using this at the moment. It's the Burts Bees lip crayon that I got from a Latest in Beauty box in the colour, was it Sedona Sands? Yeah. This colour is beautiful, but the smell, oh, it's horrible. I'm assuming they all smell like this, and I feel like no one's mentioned it. It's unbelievably plasticky smelling, and it almost has that kind of taste as well, and it doesn't go away either. It's literally there all the time. So I do really like it, I just don't like the scent of it or the taste of it. It's not nice. I just checked my eyebrows in a bigger mirror and I've just corrected them slightly because I felt like they were looking a little bit too different, but there. I think I'm pretty happy with how all of this turned out. So that is it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and enjoyed getting ready with me, or whatever it was that you were doing whilst you were watching this. I personally love Get Ready With Me videos, particularly when I'm getting ready too. So I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, I would really appreciate a thumbs up down below, because it does really help support my channel. And if you are new and would like to subscribe to see more content like this from me in the future, I will pop a button just here so you can click it and get notified of new content as and when it gets uploaded. And if you've not seen my last video, I will pop a link to that one just up here so you can click it and check that one out too. Anyway, I hope you're all really well and I will see you again soon.